test. Check. Mic test. Mic test. 1, 2, check. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to our stream. It is a nice chill Friday morning for us.
Commencing operation.
It is gonna be an interesting one because we are practicing for the big event. We're registered at the moment, as you see here, official tournaments SVO Qualifier 1. So we will be playing in this big event. It's a best of one. You bring 2 decks. And then deck registration deadline is in 3 hours. This is UK time, local time. So for now, what we have to do is finalize our decks. I think we've finalized Rune. I found a build from one of the YouTubers I saw, from Freddy Babes. And it's running an interesting one in the form of Dark Side. So this is new. Hello, hello. Salap Yuzon. Best of luck in the tournament. So I think we're finalizing our Runecraft build with this. Running 3 Dark Sides. We removed Lilanthem. We also removed William. We're maximizing Flames of Chaos. As well as we're maximizing Spell Boost by just running spells. Instead of units, instead of Edelweiss and William, we're running Dark Side and Flames of Chaos. We still have the one of Burgent for the crest. I do like the one of crests. I think it helps a lot, and I think I'll be running the same in Swordcraft as well. Just have something that generates a crest, which I'll show in a bit. And then we still maximize our Earth Sigils because we've got Normans. And aside from that, we also will use Sage Light Teachings as a sweeper as well, because we reduced our William count. And all of these help in reducing Dimension Climb quickly, because what I noticed in the mirror match, it's whoever actually builds the full combo first, whether it's Kuon Dimension Climb or Ruler of Cocytus Dimension Climb. So highest priority, I think, is bringing Dimension Climb to 0, which I think with this setup, it works well. So that's one. The thing that we're testing at the moment is Swordcraft, which I think needs a bit of work. We do have the one of Grimnir here, and we've been tweaking reducing an Odin, and then trying a Geno. We've also tried Ravening Tentacles. We've also tried a 3rd Albert, but I think at the moment this is okay. Something that I am interested in testing as well is the Battle Princesses 4-cost deal 4 to 3 random units. That might help in the mirror match if they go first as well. So that's something to take note of. Oh, if we go first and they go Zirconia first. It's gonna be tricky, but I think we've got a game plan. Let's try this first. Let's see if triple Odin, 2 Alberts, and 1 Grimnir work. So a reason I like this build is if our opponent runs the counter to Sword, which is Urius, so we need something to remove Urius with. And none of these remove Urius except for Odin. That's why I was earlier thinking that this is important, having 3 Odins just to answer Urius in the mirror match. And let's try it. We dropped to Sapphire by testing different builds, but I don't think it's gonna be rough climbing back up. And let's go. Going first. Olivia is a no. Mirror match, so we want curve. We don't have a 2-drop, so I think we need to look for one just to have a good curve. Rose on a 3 is not the worst. It also helps clear, and if we get a 2, that's gonna be perfect. Do we have a 2? Yes, we got one, so that's good. Let's end the turn. Flash Step. Huh. Ideally, we want a 2 that can deal with that trades up. Something like Luminous Lance Trooper, which we don't have. But I don't think we should keep a unit on the board, like, because that's just gonna run away with the game. So let's trade here. And then let's keep trading. So them having a 1 cost at that point, pseudo helps us because it quickly reduces their hand count. So as long as we stabilize at some point, we should be okay. From here, Vals is not the worst. Rose is okay as well. I'm thinking though, if we play Vals, we don't have a deal 5 in the coming turns. But we don't want a deal 5 because if Zirconia comes down, we need a deal 6. So I think we throw Vals and keep Rose to dig for a 0 cost. So I think that will be our game plan. See, Grimnir is coming down, so this might trade unless they leave that. Huh, okay. I don't mind that because with this play, if we play Rose to deal with that, we can Vals to either deal 2 to face or trade. I do prefer trading because if they play Zirconia here and use their Evo, it's gonna buff this up as well. So we're just trying to reduce damage here. And next turn, we could potentially catch up with Rose, evolving one of our 0 cost units that she will pull from her enhance effect to draw a Swordcraft follower. That costs 2 or less and sets its cost to 0. So that is something we are planning. We did expect the Zirconia here. Let's see what's gonna happen. Wow, alright, that's an additional unit. There is a lot of value I'm seeing in running a 1 cost in the form of Flash Step Quickblader, which I've seen some lists are running at the moment. Because that's an additional unit we have to deal with. And we can't even clear Zirconia here. Oof. Our tweaks would not have helped because we didn't draw it. Like, if we had an Odin here and that would have been a princess, then maybe. But because we don't have it, and we also don't have Grimnir, it doesn't really affect. So this would have been our hand nonetheless. I'm just thinking how we deal with this kind of board state if this happens in the tournament. Are we just leaving a Zirconia on the board? We either jam these 2 there or trade here. That's reducing 4 damage with these attacks. This is gonna reduce 6 off the top. Thinking hard. This is a bad Evo. We are in a bad spot because of the way Flash Step Quickblader has been pressuring us hard. So I think we trade that. At least this leaves us with a Rose on the board. We're gonna take a big hit here, but we don't really have options. How are we supposed to deal with this? What card in the mirror match can deal with this board state? This happens. Something we need to figure out. If we do figure that out, I think we will be in a good spot. If we don't, then we want to go second playing Swordcraft every time. From here, either we buff one of these up or prim and swing there and leave our 2 3/3s for them to deal with. But I think we should remove one of the 4/4. It's not the best. We want to be using our Evos on things like Gildaria, on things like Zirconia. But because we don't have any of those, is rough. And these are all staples in the deck. There was nothing here that we could have removed. If anything, what? One of the samurais? These are staples here as well. So the samurai is something that we could have removed. We're down to 1. Oh, there's no outs. What is that board state? Nothing. We just die. If this happens to us in the tournament, it's lights out immediately. But what do we remove then? What's in Swordcraft that we can change? But that is a scenario that we want to figure out. And if we do, I think we will be in a good spot. Is it just so one-sided that there's nothing to do? Did that happen? What are our options? Flash Step Quickblader is one of them. Fildao, I've seen Fildaos as well. Just deal with one. Dark Side, Royal Coachwoman. I've seen Royal Coachwoman as well. Band of Battle Princesses did not help if we had this and removed Grimnir. It would have helped if we cut down on one Prim, for example, or one Samurai. That would have been a scenario. Gelt. I've seen Gelt as well. There's a Super Evolved, so that doesn't help the early game as well. We have mulliganed differently, but we mulliganed aggressively already. Maybe keeping one Zirconia, even if it's bad, we'd have taken a lesser hit. Hello, hello. Thank you, thank you. We're just trying to figure out. Echoes of Elegance, how are you doing? I'm good, I'm good. How are you? Figuring out what build we should run. Maybe it's a mulligan thing and we should have kept the Zirconia in the mirror match. That could have been it. We're going first though, so that makes it worse. Well, I just came here to ask a quick question if you don't mind. Sure, what is the question? Going first against Forestcraft, which in theory we should be good against because we've got a lot of ward units. So I won't waste your precious time. I'm a college student and also a graphic designer looking for a star combination just to bear my college expenses. If you give me a chance, can I design something for you? I have a designer already, my friend. Sorry about that, and I'm currently happy with who I've got. Cool. Yo, Atanaiden, welcome to the stream, buddy. How you doing? I need you, buddy. We're in a lose streak when you're not in. Alright, let's clean this up. Actually, we're testing things out. That's why we're a bit in the experimental stage. Figuring out what deck list to run for tomorrow's big event. Look, I'm not asking to leave your personal artist, but I'm okay. Thank you. Right. Now we play Grimnir here and end the turn. Next turn we can play Zirconia or Prim into Nonja to create ward units. So the arguments here of either or is, do we want ward units in the mid game or do we want ward units in the early game? And I think our other line here is just to clear board with Aseria and deal 1 to each and play a Prim here. Saving our ward units for later on is another option. There's the Fairy. Evolve, select an enemy follower. They changed it to a Fairy. Not that strong. Fair. Then from here, we've got two plays, either Zirconia or Val's Nonja. I think Zirconia is better because we've got the buff to Prim, which can help clear as well and keep Prim alive. Like we go 6 there and 2 here. That's going to leave Prim with 1 life and is still going to be able to pressure board. This forces them to have a Glade in hand. If they do, they wipe the board. If not, we can start pressuring life. Second evil. Then 2 fairies here, guessing. Ah, okay. Just dealing with the whole board. Fair enough.
Shall we pack up for the day?
Not all is lost.
And then from here, a second Zirconia works. Just to buff our fairy up. We now have a fairy, guys, so that is cool. And then we can also play another unit, which in this case is either Prim or Nonja. We can also keep the argument of having our ward units, but I think they're not a roach deck. They're they're fairy aggro. So having big units early on might help as well. Glade is what you need to wipe the board. That is something we should avoid here. Doesn't seem that they have it. Is that the third one? Oh, not there. It's played by opponent. That is the third fairy. It doesn't really help because the crest doesn't stack. So the crest of adding a fairy to your hand is only once, even though they played it 3 times now. You've got Vols to deal with that. No follow-up though. And it's over. Nice. I don't know what happened, but we'll take it. So Swordcraft lines up well against Forestcraft. So my game plan in the tournament is, for example, if my opponent's on Abyss and Forest, I'll play Sword because it's good against both. If, for example, they have Rune and Forest, I'll still play Sword. If they have something like Rune and Abyss, I'll still play Sword. If they have something like Portalcraft and Rune, I'd play Rune in that matchup. Or if they've got Havencraft, I'd also play Rune. So I'd line up the deck choice that's good against either deck. Grimnir's in hand. We're playing against Portal. Gildaria's okay, but we want a curve here. So let's look for a curve. That's an okay curve. Been a while since we played against Portalcraft as well. We can either use the play point now to play out Asteria. This means they are on Artifact. And artifacts can wipe units up with 3 life. And they're a bit slower on the build up. Unless they're a hybrid. So I think it's worth a try to see if we can start early aggression here. They're a hybrid build. Okay, so we can't go early aggression. We go for a proper mid-range game plan. Take the trade and the turn. Let's just keep answering whatever they play. Grimnir here is okay. Vals pops 1. But they're gonna struggle to deal with this unless they have the bigger puppets. Filled out doesn't clear, so they just pass the turn, which is good for us. And then from here, we can go for a Zirconia buff up into a filled out clear. And I think we leave Grimnir. Instead of cleaning up here, just swing at face is our play. An Alouette, even if they play it, is gonna create an artifact that can deal 3 across the board, leaving our 4 drops here, which means these will still have to go to our units here. There's the Alouette. We're just trying to anticipate what they could do and play around it. And that's gonna wipe the board with 3 damage. So this means that needs to trade, which is good for us. Now they've got a 5-3 and a 4-3. We've still got a Zirconia here. Other option is Vals as well. These two both deal with a unit. One uses an Evo but establishes board. The other one does not. And I think what we want to do is play the Zirconia here, Evo the Zirconia to get our other units, and then just deal 6 to that. Alouette's already evolved, so there's nothing to evolve there. Maximum it could do is 4, which we will take. And then at least this way we just have to deal with the board. That's gonna wipe the board though. Oof, 7-8. How can we deal with this? One way is to play Amelia. And then Vals, shoot this with Vals, Super Evo Amelia to deal with that. But that means we're using our Super Evo quite early. Sadly. Other option is Olivia to draw into something like a Samurai to deal with both. But I think Amelia is better here. Because we need to clear this up. We're also applying barrier to Vals, which helps. Next. We've got our own Amalia to clear as well, if we wanted to. And... Super Evo on Fildau, I'll take it. That means that's a Super Evo not going to Orcus. Amalia can wipe the board here. So can an Olivia into a Vals. The question now is, do we want Olivia Vals or Amalia? I think we want Olivia Vals because Amalia is solid on her own to clean up. While these two take a bit more work. Plus, we're gonna gain the life back. And we're gonna draw 2 cards with this play, making our next turns much more manageable. And then we go with that. And then from here we can go for a Super Evo. We're just finishing all of our Super Evos at this point, which I think we are okay with in this matchup. Because this is forcing them to use theirs as well. Oh, we could have... No, not really. Because our crest deals 2, but there's nothing to not swing into. And that's the Orcus. And that's the last Super Evo done. Is great. 7 to life. And we just need to clean up here, which Gildaria can't do. Amalia can clean up here, but I don't think we want to. I think we want to just play the Amalia, force them to deal with our board, even though it's a bit scary. They don't have a board wipe aside from the ones that deal 3 damage at the end of turn. So I think this is the play here, unless it's something like multiple puppets again. But because there's no way to get to Orcus at this point, I think this is our line. And let's just hope that there are no puppets coming down this turn. We'll take the 1 damage hit. Okay, we're happy with that. We will survive. And Gildaria is getting pumped up as well, which is great. That's the board wiping artifact. That leaves us with an Amalia though that gives all of our units rush, which is busted. Thinking. We're in a good spot at the moment, just figuring out how do we clean up here strongly. Prim into Nonja is one of them. We've got the crest here as well, which does help. I think let's start with Aseria, see who gets hit by what, and then let's deal a bit of damage here. Luminous Magus is gonna create a lot of units that all have rush and a buff as well, which is quite powerful. So let's go for this line here, and then this is gonna trade there, and then a Prim still will have rush and ward, which is great for us. So let's use that to trade there and deal 6 to life. And we're good from here. Gildaria now is on 24. That's gonna be a free Super Evo plus a free crest. So that's gonna deal 2 damage across the board for free, which is busted. And we've got it twice. So I think we should go for that. And then let's swing once, and we're good. Boom.
The light will never fade.
The light will never fade. Here.
Light, be the purveyor of my will.
Why limit yourself to one dimension?
Let's mulligan these. Rosa is a keep. Seria is a keep. Against the mirror, we want the curve. There's an argument for Amelia just to have card advantage in the mirror. Gildaria is okay as well, but we can potentially draw into that, and it's bad early on. So I think we just want maximum card advantage here. We're gonna play the mid to long game. It's been successful, and it works well in the sense that even if you try to go aggro and just dump your hand, we'll be okay. Because if they don't answer it, then we aggro them out. If they do, we've got card advantage back. We can't really do that line if we look for just aggressive units all the way, because we'll run out of gas before it becomes lethal. From here, I think we just end the turn. First problem we have to deal with is the Anangrea that will come out. So let's just play a Seria here. Try to dig for something that deals with Anangrea later on, and go from there. Curve, we're going for Rose and ending the turn.
Tactical retreat!
Here we're on 5 play points. 2 options are create a wide board with Luminous Magus. That means we don't have a play next turn though, unless we draw into a 5 cost, which is highly likely to be fair. But then we'd be stuck with a bunch of Amelias in hand. So either we skip now, and this skip also makes it that their Anangrea is not that good. Because even if they Anangrea here, there's nothing to deal 3 damage with. There's no golem. A Burgent would be great for them at this spot, because we are not applying pressure at all. So that if they don't do anything as well, that's perfect for us. Because now we've got the plays in the form of Amelia, drawing 2 cards and then passing the turn. We'll be on 9 next turn, which means we'll have maximum card count. We didn't even draw into a 3 or a 2 drop. Which is wild.
Transform your skill. Create a richer future.
Huh. Golems. Golems are tricky because of the barrier. But we've got answers to this in the form of Gildaria, which we can deploy now, evolve to dish out a bunch of damage. So that's going to be 1 and 2. The 2 golems deal with that. And Gildaria deals with Norman, leaving our Amelia to deal 4 to face, which is quite nice. So I think we should go for that line. We're also not wasting our Evos here. We are pressuring them to keep using their Evos, which is good for us. And as soon as we connect with a bit of damage, that puts them at Albert lethal range, which makes it scary. They do have heals, but one of them is Norman already, which they have used.
The spark of knowledge. Stay strong. The spark of knowledge.
Gaining 4 life. Sure. We've got our Albert line, which means we save the play point. Let's just go for wide game plans here. We don't really have space in our hand. We can't really keep drawing cards with Amelia. So I think we play Grimnir out now, because if not now, when? And I think we just go for a Zirconia Evo to force them to do something about our board again. Every turn we'll just keep applying a bunch of pressure. Next turn we've got Amelia Luminous Magus. We can do it twice as well if we wanted to. Plus a cheeky little barrier across the board if we want. We're just figuring out what we want to do. Let's see what they do and go from there. They're cleaning up nicely. We can Albert here. We can also Amelia. Amelia gives us just Amelia to attack, basically. But we do have the crest to deal 2 damage. But we'll have to go through this as well, which we don't have access to if we go for Amelia Luminous Magus. Thinking. Other line is Albert early on. Just apply a bunch of pressure, force them to keep healing up. Is that the good line though? We don't have rush. So that's out of the story. Olivia is gonna draw us 2 cards and heal us up. Not the worst. Also not the best. So I think our line here is Albert, wipe the board, so that we can apply a bit of pressure here. Now they have to deal with this. And if they do, hopefully it uses their Super Evo. Or they just Flame of Chaos here. Which is good as well, because it's one of the board wipes that can actually deal with our board. So if we go Amelia Luminous Magus, it pressures them a lot, especially that they use 2 board wipes that turn. This is looking good for us. Ooh, Odin is here. 2 lines are, well, 3 lines. Amelia Luminous, Olivia Zirconia, Odin Prim. Those are our 3. 4th line is Zirconia Luminous. Doesn't have Rush, which means only 1 unit is attacking. Amelia Luminous is looking good here. It's gonna keep our hand very high as well. This isn't solid too. Not gonna lie. And they used a lot of board wipes already. Means a Vals might just stay on the board here. Especially that we give it barrier with Amelia as well. That might actually force them to use their last few thingies. We're passing the turn, ending the turn as well. Well, super evoing Vals here works too, because we'll have a crest forever. Sup, Buddy Bear. Hello, hello. Alan John Dolientas. Welcome to the stream, kapatid. We're just playing Shadowverse Worlds Beyond at the moment. This is a chill card game, plays like Hearthstone. There's no dimension climb. They just played that out. Interesting. You got Odin to apply a bunch of pressure. I think that is the line here. And then from here, we just start swinging at face. It's highly likely that they go for a dimension climb next turn. They just weren't at 0 at that point. That's why they played the demon out, just looking for an opportunity. And they might try to end the game next turn. What we're trying to do as well is pressure them to the point that if they don't clear our board, we could just end the game. We still need to deal with Vals here. Okay, you did. Fair enough. And now they're gonna draw into the Storm Rider. That ends the game at this point. The 6 card. There it is with an evolution. Super Evo. Perfect setup against us. We tried to apply pressure. It didn't work. So that is... It will hurt. Naiden just said. So this is one of those games where I think the Stormtrooper... Not Stormtrooper. That's from Star Wars. The thing could help. What's its face? Which could be viable. Flash Step Quick Blader. Weak, no diamond. I dropped, buddy. I'm sorry. Okay. Triple Quick Blader. No Rose. Interesting. They're running a 4 cost. I'm looking at random websites that have win streaks. Ancestral Crown. Whenever an allied follower enters the field, give it +1/+1. Fair enough. They're also running Iron Crown Majesty. They're on Diamond. Thinking hard. Because our build is not quick. That's the thing. They can catch up at the point that we want to end the game. 2 options are have sticky units like Royal Coachwoman that summons a 1/1 knight when it dies, or Quick Blader that has Storm. Those are the 2 options that we have in mind. Could be cutting down on 1 Odin and just removing the Grimnir altogether. And then running one of these. Either 2 Quick Bladers or... Could be 2 Quick Bladers, to be fair. Royal Coachwoman. What is our line? Because this is gonna make us quite fast. This is bad in the mirror though, and I don't think, well, it was good when they went second to be fair. This was applying a lot of pressure against us. It's also Storm for when we go Zirconia, we've got a 1 cost to play on our Zirconia turn going first, which means this will clear 2 units instead of just the 1. It's worth a try, I think. We might want to cut something here. I don't like cutting Amelia and Olivia. I've seen some lists running too, but I do think we want maximum dig potential to get Gildaria. So that has to be a keep, and I think the Samurai could be cut, like 1 less, because it's a late game card, which is stronger in the late game. Yes, it can clear at 2. And yes, Rose actually, it's quite solid as well. Other option is 1 less Prim. No. Other lists are running maximum Prim. What is this? They had a 7-win streak. The Ocha style is cool, is what they're saying. Thinking here, Prim as a 3rd, or Flash Step as just 2. Let's try Flash Step as a 2 of, which I think might be solid here. Other option is cut 1 Amelia, but Amelia is busted. It's just a board wipe, pressure, and a strong unit all in all. So another reason to cut Prim down is because Rose digs for cost 2 or less, and if you dig Prim, it doesn't do much in the game plan of you wanted to deal 1 damage with any unit you dig with, so that your follower strike kills something for free without having Rose be dealt with. So that is a reason why we have an option to cut Prim down, which I think is not the worst, although it reduces our ward units, because we just removed Grimnir, which is a 1 ward unit, and now we reduced Nonja by 1 because of reducing Prim. So now let's try this out and see if our theory works out.
Medium rare or well done.
Mirror, we're going first. We do want an early curve. We now have 1 cost, so there's an argument to dig for the 1 cost. If we do not, we're okay. We still have 2-3, and we still get the Prim. Prim's also bad in multiples. Well, she's okay in multiples, I guess. Her stat line is only 4. Like, you have 2 units, yes, but you get a 1-1 and a 3-3. And that's only if you play Prim on 4, or if Prim survives. That's why Prim's a bit on the iffy side of things for me. He's busted in handling Zirconia when we're going first against the mirror match, which is still an argument to have her in the deck. But I think just having all of these units early on is going to pressure well. Plus a Rose on 5 in the late game digging into Prim is just bad. Like Rose, what you want to dig at the late game is something like a Samurai, so that you have an answer to the big unit. Okay. That came down, so let's just deal with that using Vals. And we just keep swinging hard. They haven't had an answer to our board yet, so this is a strong opportunity. Just go in hard. Okay, they answered 1 unit. Fair enough. Now we've got Prim. which feels like it's a 2-card thing. When, for example, we get board wipe, that's a lot of units. But technically, this is just 2 units. Prim and Luminous Lance Trooper. So it's not really a 4-4-1. It's a 2-4-1. And they'll have to use, like, all of their sigils if they want to use the Sagelight Teachings. But here they're using Anangrea. Fair enough. That means we're gonna be left with a Prim, and we'll have Vals to deal with their Anangrea. This is great. And at this point, do we want to do anything with Prim? There's an argument to evolve Prim and keep her hidden and just force a wipe, a board wipe. The next turn, we've got Zirconia for the next evolution, which is not the worst, to be fair. Like, thinking if we just keep pressuring them, force them to play a second Anangrea. Cheria is quite weak in this matchup, so we might just use this to apply a lot of pressure and evolve Prim and keep her hidden in ambush. Force something like the board wipe, the Sagelight Teachings. Every time they'd use that, that's 4 less life going to their life.
Foiled again, but not for good. I lost sight of her.
Cool, we'll take it. And now we've got a big attack here in the form of Samurai or Gildaria to clean up. Thinking? Samurai becomes a 3-2 with Zirconia's buff. Seria becomes a 3-2 as well. This does mean that we trade our Zirconia to their Virgin. Which is not the worst.
Princess, where'd you go?
The Lord Commander dons her mask.
Farewell.
And this is still gonna apply a lot of pressure. Like, this swing is bringing them down to 12, which means they're in Albert range. So at any point that we get to 9, we just end the game if we get an Albert. So that's gonna keep that in their mind as well. So it looks like they're gonna clear the board here with the Sagelight. And if they do, that's 4 life not going to their life. We're pressuring. We are applying the pressure. Another Anangrea. Wait, is that the 3rd?
I give up.
2nd. Oh, they played a Virgin earlier.
Shall we pack up for the day?
None shall escape.
Super Evo. I'll take it.
Smart to play with
I lost sight
fire.
of her.
I will happily take that Super Evo.
Not all is lost.
Thinking here. We can clear with our own Super Evo as well, Gildaria. But why not we just play our Zirconia here,
Commander dons her mask.
play our Samurai, Super Evo the Zirconia. They do like doing their Super Evo plays here, and then just cleaning up. And then we still have a wide and tall board. We still have Amalia for next turn to clean up. And Amalia is going to create 5 units, including herself, for a free Super Evo with Gildaria. It's a totally different game when we don't have Amelia in hand.
I yield.
That's a board wipe. Huh, interesting. Because Vals can deal with that and have a hidden unit that they'd need a board wipe with to deal with. Kapatid, how are you? LMJ, welcome to the stream, brother. We're chilling quite early.
The truth seeker
Oh, wow.
her
That's dealing 4 to a random unit, and we had a random unit on the board. Fair enough.
My students shine more than gold.
They're healing. We do have double Gildaria, so I think we are highly incentivized to go for an Amelia line here. I'm just thinking, do we just waste all of our units dealing with this full board? Other option is to use our last Super Evo to just have a wide board again. Which is not the worst. We don't have crests at all. But I think having all of these is great because we have 2 thick units, an Amalia, and our 6-5 unit. They'll have to deal with both. If they do, we've got Gildarias now with free Super Evos. They're on 5 cards and 6 cards in hand. There was a line there to just clear the board with our units, keeping our Super Evo and our Amalia. But we want to pressure them to use their last Super Evolution. Because if I remember correctly, the flow of this game is if both of you don't have Super Evo, you become ahead. And with 3 play points, I don't think they can afford not using a Super Evo. You've got 2 units. One gives rush and ward to everything.
My oath is fulfilled.
That's the turn? Okay, that's dealing with 1. Not even. Perfect.
My oath is
I'll take it. Oh, and then they're gonna use their last one. Cool. While we still have free Super Evos here. Now they don't have the Kuon line to end the game. And we've got all of this that they'll still have to deal with. Answer that, please. Boom, for free.
ruined perfectly good material.
We played Gildaria instead of the Samurai because we just want to have a wide board state every single time. They spent their one to deal with our board, which means they're light on board removal here at this point. And they're just digging now, which means they don't have much. Which means that's either, yep, single target removal or dimension climbs and stuff like that. Huh. Fair enough. You're going for life. We go for a second Gildaria here. I think we could. That's gonna wipe the board, keep the pressure on, force them to have a board wipe again, and that leaves us with our small units for later on. Although if they create a wide board, we don't really have an answer for that. These are weak now, but Amalia can pump them up later on. What are we gonna throw away? I think we have to maintain the pressure. This might not be ideal, but I think this is gonna help a lot in just closing the game out next turn. If they go something for something like a Kuon that doesn't clear the board, because they don't have Super Evo. Morning, bro. Jello, what's up, brother? Welcome to the stream, kapatid. Good morning. Very early stream for us. Just right before we go to work. Okay, Luminous Magus is solid. That's again gonna create a wide board. We do want to answer the William though, so I think we play this out. Do we play the Quick Blader to deal 1 damage? I don't think he's relevant to be kept in hand. So let's just force another board wipe. That's like what? The 5th board wipe? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 board wipes. How many? Ah, they haven't used Sage Light. Okay, fair enough. We do need Amelia, please. We need cards. We ran out of cards. That works.
Pierce through the heart of darkness. On my blade.
In steel.
Coming through, coming through.
Okay, they're digging. That means they have nothing. They threw away one of their dimension climbs. If they don't have an answer for this board state, it is gonna be lights out. That does not answer the board state. You don't have evolutions anymore. That also does not. That's great. Shouldn't you have healed? Oh. They're digging for something like Norman, I guess. And that's the second dimension climb they used this turn. We're just happy they're not using it with a Demon of Cockatoo. So as long as they don't do those lines, we will be okay. They still haven't cleaned up here. Means they will be expending a lot of resources. Wow. That's gonna trade though. Sure. Amelia? Nope. Rose's bad. It digs for something. It dug for that as our 0 cost. Ugh. So if that was something like a samurai, it would have been good. Doesn't really do anything. Like, that's not gonna do much. The pressure is on now. They haven't played Kuons yet. There's the demon. We need something. That is something. That is great. More than something. That cleans up.
Over my dead body. My oath is fulfilled.
9. What are we thinking about? Do we clean the demon up or do we pressure face? Those are our two options because this quick blader can deal 2 to face. Just thinking, where do we want to go? And if we keep these two, they draw something like a Demon of Purgatory, then it's lights out. That's gonna clean up. If not, and they just swing here, we could potentially have lethal next turn if we draw something like an Albert. So I think we need to play for the win. They have the board wipe, fair enough. If they do not, then we're good. If they drew something like the one cost 13/13, we'll be okay. All of our units have ward, so that's good. Kuon, they now have ward as well. That's a 4/5. 5/6. Whew. 10. I think we won. Wait. No. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We leave them with down. Oh no, we can't. That can't be hit by anything. Okay, fair enough. I thought we would have missed lethal by 1. But we did not. We are going to be able to clean the board up here, which is good. Hindi ka nag-Axie, Boss Reg? Not in the past year, kapatid. I haven't been active with Axie. I wasn't happy with where things were going before. They said it's better now, so I haven't checked it yet. But I think I'm open to checking it now. I just haven't had the time. Sunod-sunod ang big events. There's a lot of big events coming up in this game ba That's why we don't want to waste it. If they draw a Storm Rider, it's lights. A Silent Rider, it's lights out. So the Quick Blader doesn't really help in this matchup at the moment. This is what we're trying to solve, actually. This matchup. So this is good practice for us. Let's see, the Quick Blader didn't help. We ran out of cards. How do we not run out of cards? Don't really have card draw in this. Hello brother, kamusta? We're chillin', kapatid. We're having a good time playing Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. Playing for the big event tomorrow. So that is something we are prepping for. Things like Geno might help. Well, can attack 2 times per turn. Let's see. This is the most recent Swordcraft. I'm just looking at Japanese websites. And it's like A3, AA1. I'm looking for Master that did 7 consecutive wins. This might work. They're playing the coach. Good luck, Cup. Thank you. This might be better, to be honest, than the Quick Blader. They're also running 3 of this thing. Whenever an allied officer follower enters the field, restore 1 defense. Lyrala. This makes Rose worse. Because now Rose will dig for Royal Coach Woman. Well, they're maxed out on Prim. They're maxed out on Magus. 1 Rose. No Odin. Oh. Maxed out on Olivia. That's an argument. If we're running out of cards, Olivia does help. It also heals us back up. It is quite slow though. Very slow. There. Build. Having a quick peek. Looks like they're maxing out on... no samurais. No samurai. Helps in the late game though. Strong for Rose as well. So do we go back to the 3rd Prim? As step 1? So tight. They do have Serias as well. Other option is to try this out. Lyrala. Luminous Potion Right. It summons a 2/2. So it's a 3 cost, 3/4 stat line. That when an allied officer follower, so not just an officer, the Lance Troopers are officers, does heal us a lot. Well, if that's a threat for us, why does not everyone play it though? I must be missing something. Master, Coach Woman again, Samurai, Prim, 1 less Rose. I do like Rose. Rose digs for cards. No Odin. No Odin, and they're playing this. Summon a 2/2 and a 1/1 for 3. Or pump everything for +1/+1. No Luminous Magus. Huh. That will give us space, not gonna lie. A lot less ward unit. And it's a lot less board present. Thinking. Although Coachwoman will help with the board presence. Like, that's gonna give us a solid early game. And we can bump Prim up to 3. That's gonna maximize Rose as well, digging for all of these. Gonna make her weaker in the sense that we're not gonna get as many rush units because it's gonna get Royal Coachwoman sometimes, but that's not the worst. It's not the worst case scenario. Are we just gonna make our own build based on what we see? That's how we've been running anyway. Ever. And because we're lighter on 5, there's an argument to maximize Albert. Even though he's bad on 5, he helps on the curve. We just try this and hope for the best. Try it. No Grimnirs, 2 Odins, 3 Alberts, and just solid early game. Okay mid game because we don't have Magus. Hopefully that's still gonna be enough to set us up for the late game with Amalia. Let's try it.
Light be the purveyor of my will.
It's a game. Enjoy yourself.
Mulligan, we're going first. We've got a 3 and a 4. I think we keep these for curve purposes and hopefully dig into our 2-drop. Our turn, there she is. 2-drop number 1 into a 3, into a 4, into a 5. Okay, we've got a solid curve. We drew a Lance Trooper. That is looking good. Teresa. Lux Spear. Almirage. I think we take the trade here. Not the best trade because Rose is quite powerful, but that means we get to attack face with that line. Then here, we're not losing units, and we're able to develop board, so I think this is a solid next turn play. Turn after that, we've got Rose. Actually, she's technically a 5-drop as well. So she's quite solid as a 5-drop troop. To Albert, if they play something like a Salefa, that's gonna trade with Albert if we evolve Albert, which is solid. And I think because we're maxed out on Alberts now, this is worth applying. Okay, we can pump this up, but Salefa deals 3 to the board. So we just try to force our plays to line up well against whatever they're trying. Wilbert is solid, although we've got a Rose as an answer for that. Rose clears here. Rose, what she does is, if there's any form of damage on the unit, it's just gonna insta-kill without dealing damage back. And we're gonna dig for a 0 cost as well, which is also solid, like that. And then we can clean up here. We can also clean up by evolving Seria. Do we want to though, is the question. There's an argument to keep Seria and play her on like the Amalia turn. To have a strong Amalia turn. A 2/4 is not that much of a threat, especially that there's no Jean yet. Jean's an 8 cost 6/6 that buffs everyone up. There's the Salefa. That's gonna become bigger with this and deal 3 across the board. We're still not that threatened yet. Fair. Do we want to use one of our super evil? Is the question. I think we want to dig for Swordcraft followers first with Amelia to see what we get before we play out the Olivia. Because things like this can clean up quite nicely without having to use our Super Evo. Got a lot of cards, so might as well. They are valuable though, in the sense that Havencraft has a lot of tall units, but they also have a lot of wide units. At which point Seria's deal 1 stacks up quite nicely. Like here, for when we can go for an Amalia play and start cleaning up. I think we should.
You give me courage.
Let's just have a quick think. Who do we want to Super Evo here? I think we want to Super Evo Amalia as well. That's gonna give her the extra reach to get to the 6-9. Can't really... Oh. We can't deal with this. We have to go through all of this before we get to Sarisa. That is gonna be tricky. So why not we just pass the turn? The Gene's gonna wipe the board though if we pass the turn. We also can't do that. That was really good. And then do we swing 3 here? I think we don't. Force them to play the Gene out if they want to wipe the board. Gene at this point, we're okay with. Divine Thunder is okay as well. But they're doing a lot to deal with our board. We're down to 12, but they're down to 4 cards. How we had the card advantage in this setup, I have no clue. But I think the Amelias and now the Olivia will help here. Thinking though, how do we clean up? We can clean up with Prim plus the Olivia. The Nonja will have a big body at that point, which should be great, and I think we should go for that line. Gildaria's on 16, so what I'm checking is, do we miss the Magus in terms of rallying Gildaria out? Which at the moment, we're not really missing the Magus, to be honest. So we can go for a Prim into a Nonja, into a Super Evo on the Nonja. That's gonna give the Nonja big stats, but what we're after is we have something to deal with that no matter how big it is with its buff. Now it's back on them to deal with our board, and we have the Samurais to deal with big units like Jin. Jin didn't do much except for wipe the board. They're using a lot of stuff to deal with our board. Great. Gildaria's almost there. Gildaria's a bit slow on the uptake at the moment, although we're okay with that. So let's start with the Samurai to just deal with this. We've got the Gildarian next turn if there's a tall unit that comes down. But at the moment, let's play out double Zirconia into an evolution to give us a bunch of units for them to deal with. An Unholy Vessel here is going to wipe the board. If they do not have that, I'm not sure if they play it actually. Maybe some of them don't play it at all. That's the last Super Evo. Which is great because we have Gildaria. Free Super Evos, guys. Boom. Boom. Then we can go for that. Lance Trooper is gonna deal 2 across the board, which is great. And that's gonna go down to 1 for that trade. And this is gonna deal with that, and we'll play a Coachwoman out. So if they wipe the board, we'll be left with a 1-1. We'll be left with something, not nothing. Sure, now they have the card advantage, but they don't have Super Evos anymore. And now they're gonna rely on their units to deal with us. 9 is far away, my friend. Hello, card advantage. Rose is more card advantage as well, and I think we just have to deal with this once. We just want space. Other option is the coach woman, which is also not bad. But the coach woman will leave us with something if they wipe the board, but I don't think they are, except for a gene. Like this is great. And then we can go Prim or Rose. I think we go for Rose for that nice little card advantage setup. Look at that. If they wipe the board, we've got rush units in the form of Lance Trooper plus Prim. Jean, sure. We do have all of the answers at the moment. Next turn, we won't have all of the answers anymore. So that is something we need to be aware of. Hopefully we draw into something relevant at that point. Hopefully no more genes. How many is that? Is that 2 already? Yes. That is 2, Wilbert. Fair enough. A big unit, but Gildaria as a top deck is busted. Let's throw our Prims away now. Just make space for the big booty Gildaria. We clean up here. Thinking. I think we should. And use our knights to deal with that. Seria's gonna shoot both. This is gonna clean that up. Bring out another unit to deal with that. And now they have to deal with the board again. We don't have anything if they deal with this board. Please no gene. Not a third gene. Oh my god. Ugh. We do have the Gildaria and we drew an Amelia. Skill issue, skill diff. Oh. Skill diff, guys. And we got there.
Moving out, move forward, moving out. Sound the retreat.
Boom.
A trial I must overcome.
It worked. Bad matchup. Our build got there. Didn't miss the Luminous Magus at all. Looking good. We might lock this in, guys. We've got 1 hour and 40 minutes to lock a build in. This felt nice. This felt solid. I think we might keep this.
Light be the purveyor of my will.
Looking solid against them. So we've got a 2-drop in the form of Royal Coachwoman. Seria's not the best 2-drop now. She's okay, don't get me wrong, but we've got Rose as a 3-drop. What we're after are 4-drops and 5-drops. And if we draw into 2-drops again, Rose is also a 5-drop. Perfect. So we've got 2-drop. Now we're switching it up. We've got the Lance Trooper, which is busted because that creates 2 units. Now, while the Coachwoman also does the same, her payoff is after Coachwoman dies. So that's the difference. We can trade here with our Samurai since we've got 3 copies. Let's use it to clean up early. Next turn, either Rose or Coachwoman, depending on what happens. We'll see what they present. If they pump this up to 3, that's gonna present as as Sage Light Teachings. Rose trade here, I think. We've got solid curves now in the form of Prim Nonja and then a Royal Coach Moon on 5. No Magus, so we don't have that as our potential 5-drop, but an Albert top deck is a potential 5-drop as well. Prim Coach Woman is solid as well instead of Prim Nonja on turn 4. It just depends on what they do. They wipe the board, so let's create a solid board now that we're forcing them to board wipe with using our setup. You know, select an enemy follower, deal it X damage. X is the number of Earth Sigils, gain a crest, end of turn, create a golem, and eat an Earth Sigil. Okay, fair enough. How do we deal with this board? What just happened? We had a samurai. If this was a magus, then we'd have a wide board here, which we don't. We're kind of missing. But this is very different. Not gonna lie. We're gonna create ward units instead. Deal with that using one of our prims. And swing at face. For 1. Not the best swing. We do have the Coach Woman at this point as well. We also have Gildaria Evolution to wipe the board. Another way to use Gildaria, I guess. Which is not the worst. There. They're creating a wide board. The wider the board, the better it is for Gildaria. Gildaria can clean 3 units up. But nothing else. 3 units. Does a Super Evo line up better? Doesn't really, to be honest. All the same. In the sense that we're still gonna be dishing that amount of damage. We're gonna be cleaning up nonetheless. What's this guy's Super Evo? Replicate Fanfare ability. Select an enemy follower to deal 3 damage. There's an argument to take this, leave the Edelweiss because that other one can still evolve. This one, Edelweiss, can't evolve anymore. Next turn, we might be forced to Gildaria Rally, Super Evo again. Into something like a Samurai or a Coach Woman to wipe the board. It depends on what they do at this turn. I think we will be forced to do that if they go for a Kuon line. Have to be aware of what they're planning to do here. Let's see. Odin. A lot of damage. They're aggro Runecraft. Down to 5, guys. They still have 3 units on the board. What just happened? Gildaria can clean up though. One can just end the game though, as well.
Harmony of death and destruction.
Disperse in the light.
Helmato report. Moving out.
Forged in steel.
Step to your moving out. No matter the hard forte.
Please no answer to the board. Or just board wipe. Leave Gildaria. Or do something that doesn't end us. Like a Kuon. Avoid the Kuon at all costs. That is our game plan. Sure. That's gonna draw 2 cards. And gain 2 life. Are they digging for some? A Sage Light's gonna wipe the board. A William's also gonna wipe the board. Huh, maybe not. We're down to 4. Still alive. Barely breathing. But we're still here. 4, 5, 6, 7. Into a Super Evo. Or we just deal with all of these using our units, which is also not bad.
I'll never be enough.
If they ignore board, we've got Zirconius area. They do have 6 cards in hand. They have the card advantage. Not having Amelia hurts a lot in this. Not doing much. That's it. Ah, they cleaned up so that Edelweiss hits them. For sure. We're down to 4. We need a board wipe. Or life.
Fly forth into an endless sky.
This is still gonna clean up, which is great. That's also gonna leave us at 1 life. Because if they Super Evo Melvi, that's 5 to life. Is not the worst position to be in. Well, down to 1 is bad, but that's much better than being dead. We only need 1 life to continue. No Odin, please. Just control the board. Feel free to clean up. What is their build? I'm not treating this as a metagame list. I'm treating it as a strong list. But this is not enough. Oh. Now what? Super Evo to kill Olivia? I'll take it. That means... Ah. Perfect. Everything that's gonna die to Albert is coming down now. Which is great. And Albert's dealing 6. Just no Odin, please. But I think these kinds of lists run a lot of Odins. Which they're digging into. Or looking for Kuon. There's a lot, actually, to end us. Okay. I'll take it.
There are countless combinations. Is this the end?
Don't have much to deal with this, but let's dig for something. Couldn't play the Amalia, sadly. Samurai deals with 1. But not both. Yep, we lost this game. All good though. Non-meta game. Plus, could have played it differently as well. Not sure how though. Maybe you've played that coach woman, not great in that game. Not gonna lie. I thought she would be because she's an extra 2-drop, but she wasn't. But that's because we drew into our Luminous Lance Trooper as well. So that is something to take note of. Well, another way to go about this is just go all in on the Magus. The 5 cost Magus. But its stat line is 1-3 and 2-2-2 and 3-2-2s. I think it's not the worst, to be honest. Maybe the line was never to go for the slow burn or the early aggro play, but to just max out on the defense. Magus.
Stick to your path, no matter the hardships.
That's forcing a board wipe turn after turn as well. With that line. Puppet, deal with this, sure. Artifact hybrid, I'll take it. I think we're okay against them. So this is also good to know that if we're playing against Portalcraft, for example, it's good to know that Sword can handle it. Which we found out by winning 2 games ago or 3 games ago against this. Year of ambition. What are you planning? Okay, that's gonna die, right? Because it's got the thing. At end of our turn, that gets destroyed, which is good. So let's just go for the prim line, into the Nonja line, into an end turn. Next turn, we've got Amelia on 6. That's also gonna give us 3 play points back, which hopefully we could use for something.
Change doesn't scare me anymore.
Only ransom I take is blood. Trajectory calculated. Bottomless ammo. Bottomless
Satisfied.
rage.
Okay, we can go for the 3 cost with Amelia.
Lend me your courage.
Into Vals, deal 5 there. And then from here, we either ignore this, pump Vals to deal 4 to that, pump Prim to deal 3 to that, or evolve Amelia. I think evolving Vals is great because
I stronger.
even if they deal 3 across the board, we'll be left with an Amelia here. Nice. Coach Woman is in hand again.
Officer dons
She
their
keeps
knife.
showing up. Well, she's a 3 of. So she will show up a lot.
Might hurt. Possibly.
Alouette. Okay, that's gonna wipe the board.
Pack up for the day.
Sure, sure. But we drew a Rose as well. We keep playing our top decks. I don't think there's a different line here though. Amelia, draw 2 into the good stuff. Into Rose.
Ball gowns.
Into dealing with that. And an evolution to deal with this. We could Super Evo to give barrier to Rose as well. And keep Amelia at 7. But we're saving the Super Evos for the good stuff. And we can actually directly imagine if Coach Woman was a Magus here, he'd be okay. And for the next turn, she'd also be okay. Maybe we're undervaluing Ward Unit. But we just keep getting punished by playing Ward Units as well. And then they board wipe and then swing at face. Striker Artifact.
The curious artificer dons their mask.
I don't miss.
Okay, if you don't miss. Good for you.
Stay strong.
We're on 8 technically, which means we could play out an Amalia here. Other option is Odin, and we leave our play point. Odin cleans the board. Not a Super Evo on Odin, just normal Odin. Other line is Amalia. And Super Evoing one of our knights. Other option is the Samurai. Samurai and Zirconia as well. That creates a wide board for them to deal with. We do have the Albert though, so that is something to take note of. which I think we could also use to just end the game next turn. Why don't we just Super Evo here? Bring it to big stats, deal 7 to life, and end the turn. Just forcing big turns here. If they heal up, we've got a play of just creating a whiteboard. If they try to end us, we have a turn to end them. So maybe they Orcus here. What is your game plan, friend? We're just opening the lines to one-shot them with Albert next turn. Oh, they're now playing defense. They created the 3/5, which heals life, I think, and has ward. So that happened because we put them on 11.
Change doesn't scare me anymore.
They don't play it,
Trajectory.
then we're good.
I'm not scary.
They used their last Super Evo. I'll take it. We're down to 12, but we won't die to their super artifact. Their super artifact is a 10/10 rush. And we drew another Albert. This does not have ward, right? Okay, that's good. How should we go about this? I think we could force them to do the same thing again. So we can play the Albert out, not using the Super Evo here. And just swinging for 3, they're down to 11 again. They have to play their artifact, and if they do, they won't have enough for the 10/10. We're just forcing them to stay on 11 life. We're playing a different game. No, UD can only heal if you've got the crest. So that's good. We got another 3/5, fair enough. We've got 3 units at the moment. And can we wipe the board? Not really. He's not an officer, right? That's another point against her. The officers are the tokens that come out. Which means we are forced to go on the defense here
Pierce through the heart of darkness.
with Amalia. One on that.
See you tomorrow.
Over my dead
2 on that. And then an evolution here. Now we've got 2 big units, and they don't really have a way to cleanly deal with 2 big units. We don't have Super Evo anymore, which means we can't lethal them anymore. Maybe their play starts changing at this. We do have these still that they have to deal with. Okay, and they are dealing with it, looks like it. Down to 8. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Still, we've got Albert at the moment. So as long as they don't go for the 10/10. But they do have both already in hand, I think. Yeah. So it's lights out here. It's 10/10 Storm. So that's dealing 10 to face. Oof. Painful. Painful. Being able to deal with 2 of our units was rough. That Odin was solid. And bringing us down to 8. quite... Oh, I should have tried the Luminous Magus. Coachwoman does help here in this matchup as well.
Purveyor of my will.
You want to be my
Their aggro, Seria is solid, Samurai is solid as well, Rose is solid as well. And turn. Play either Samurai, Seria, or Prim. I think we go for Prim here. Just have a chill unit on the board. Now for this, we've got Vols to deal with that. Do we swing with Prim? I don't think we do because we open her up, which we could actually use for buffing Nonja up. They don't have a board wipe yet until Argavi, which is the turn after. I think we pass the turn, force them to do good stuff at this point to try and deal with our Prim. No answers, which is great. Then here we can buff the Nonja up and either deal with that. We should deal with that actually. Thinking though of, do we not want to play a unit on their Argavi turn? I don't think we want to play a unit on their Argavi turn. So let's end the turn here. We just have a few units and we're just balancing things out every time. Like, do you want Argavi? Not really, so you go for a different play.
My star is the star of paradise.
That's gonna line up well with our Rose though,
shall we pack up for the day?
which is perfect. Rose, free card and deal with that. Free as well, she's quite powerful. The little girl that can. Rose. I'll happily take that trade. That's already negative card advantage. Options here are Albert now. Swing hard early and have a tall unit. They do have Bane in their decks. So that is something to be wary of. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Balls is okay, it just doesn't deal with anything. Rose is okay because it generates card advantage as well. So now we got a Prim, which is nice. And we're still on 8. We're filtering our deck as well because that means we're not top decking Prims anymore. That means we'll be top decking the good stuff. So that's another reason why we're playing Rose out quite early. So if we played out Albert, this would have had Bane. Its thing would have had Bane, and that would have just dealt with the Albert. So we're also weighing if we actually did the right play or not, based on what they do afterward. Let's see here. I think now is a good time. Deal 5 there. And then Seria as well to deal 1 here. Or we trade with Prim. Is this something that they might Argavi about? Thinking. We might save the Seria, to be honest. This is quite nice with Amalia. So I think we just do that because this looks like you have to Argavi. If you don't, you're gonna get hit. So they are gonna be Argaviing here anyway if they have it. If they don't, they're gonna create their own board, which we don't mind. We're good at clearing board anyway. We can simply play out a Samurai here to deal with the Cerberus. And then from here, we can go Seria into another Seria. Use the heal before we start swinging. And then let's play a Noble Coachwoman out into a Nonja. And let's Evo here now for our big swing. Because even if they are Gavi at this point, because Argavi deals 7 from the left, we'll be left with 3 units. 2 units. 3 with her last word, Knight. So we're just playing around the board wipe, basically. Making them feel bad to use it or feel bad to not use it. We don't mind this. We've got the Albert in hand. Even if you create a wide board yourself, we've got all of these are board wipes. This deals 3 to everything. This creates 4 3/2 rushers. We've got 3 of them. Good luck with dealing with the 3 Amalias.
You're greedy.
Not my first rejection.
Sure.
I am satisfied. I lost sight of her.
Soul Predation. That is strong. They used the Super Evo to wipe our unit up, as well as draw 2 cards, negating the you have to destroy one of your units, because Super Evo'd units cannot be destroyed during their own turn. Olivia would have been nice here, but we don't really have a play for the 4 extra play points we have, unless we draw into it. Come on, don't be shy. Boom! Perfect. Zirconia looks good here. Luminous Magus is great as well, because the extra unit it provides just deals with that.
Stop right there.
And then a Super Evo here targeting that. Looks good. Because that's gonna go face. So that's extra damage to the face.
Cross over.
To get lengthy.
And I think it's lights out. If they play the 9 cost, Coach Woman's gonna create the 1/1 Knight that deals 1 plus the Albert to end the game. It's busted. Coach Woman's powerful. No, I'm confused now. Whether or not we want to keep Coach Woman. So the 9 cost deals destroys 4 units and heals 4 life. So that's gonna bring them up to 13. And if they played that, we have the 1/1 here.
Not the end.
Just deal 1 and then Albert to deal 12. That's your line, then it's just lights out anyway.
Stop, you're scaring me.
My star is the star of
Shores of
paradise.
victory.
You have life gain for 2 play points. Nope. And that's the game.
Heaven's wrath will fall heavy on your head. I leave the rest to you. Disperse in the light. The hour. Keep up. Keep up.
That's totally unfair.
Boom.
The light will never fade.
Question though, why are people not playing the 3 cost thing? Got a good stat line. 3 cost 3/4 split on 2 bodies. And it heals you for 1. Like if I wanted a wide board, isn't that nice? And then doesn't that also help Rose out because you don't draw into the bad stuff? I don't know. They're not an argument for it. We're going back to the Luminous Magus for now. You might play her as a 3 of. Oh, this is another one. Kagemitsu. Last words, you gain the crest. That brings him back every time. Is it because the officer does nothing? It's just a 2/2. It does combo well with Gildaria though. And with Amelia. Plus, you just gain a lot of life in general. Like, you play this, you play Gildaria, you gain 3 life. Or you play Gildaria, you play this, you deal 4 damage across the board and gain 1 life. One life is a buffer as well. I don't get it. We tried once. Never tried it as well. So that's something. Plus, it also creates a board for us on our Zirconia turn when we go for the 4-drop Zirconia. So confused. Havencraft. Vals is going. Well, one of them is going. Prim is staying. Samurai is going as well. The rest of them is okay. Should we go for an early Prim? I think we can. Their deck's slow. And if we create big units early on, they might struggle to deal with it in the early game. Like that. They play that, does nothing. We play this, that's gonna swing hard next turn. So they're forced to deal with this. That does nothing, and that lines up perfectly with Samurai. Okay, now it doesn't. Balls is now our play here. Deal with that and to swing at life. They're just on 4 play points, not much to do here. Next turn they can Salefa and deal 3 across the board. So that's something to take note of and be aware of. They're now on 5. We don't have plays except for this. 4, 5. Gotta play. We can use all of our small units to deal with this. Buff this to a 5/5, deal 5 to life, so that their Salefa has to trade with Nonja. Which looks counterintuitive. For example, if we buff this and deal that and deal 3 to face. It looks much worse, but I think this line is much better because it forces the trade. That looked weird, but I think this is much better. Because they have to play Salefa here. And play Salefa on Q, please. No Salefa. Fair enough. We're not buffing the board anyway. And it's the same number of stats as well. And we don't have anything on 5. Are we now gonna draw the 3 cost? If we do, and that was a Luminous Magus, that would have been perfect here. Something, please? Because this is a rough hand. Gonna skip next turn. If we have nothing. We do not have nothing. Busted. Another 5 to the face. Salefa still has to go through Nonja here. And we've got the Odin play next turn. Sure, Unholy Vessel to wipe the board, but if I use Odin to remove that, it's gonna banish it and you're not gonna draw 2 cards. That must hurt, right? This does gain life back though. And then Odin Super Evo is gonna bring them down to 1. Which another Super Evo is just gonna be lights out. So this might be our line then. They don't heal. It's over. And sometimes you just don't have the heal. And the rest of the stuff has been irrelevant. The tweaks we've been doing. That's it? That's it. We got there, folks. Wait, did we get there? Yes, we have. Gildaria just enters the game. Don't heal. Don't heal, though. No heals. Can they heal with the one play point? And it's over. No heals, no problem.
Harmony of death and destruction.
Burn bright.
Tomato will pop. Moving out.
Well, I tried.
Boom.
The light will never fade.
Great. Looks good. I think we just remove this. Go all in here. Not the worst. It does stabilize us well. There's an argument to cut an Albert now because we've got 5 drops again. And go back to running 3 Odins, which is our only answer to Urius. Is Albert better than Odin? Who knows at this point? But Odin is not searchable, so that's something against it. While Albert is. With Amelia's. And that also means that if we want to Amelia into something relevant, using the play points, cutting one Albert is good as well. We're on 3 luminous Maguses here. Have a look.
It's a game.
Syria, Samurai, or Syria. I think we keep one of them. Zirconia as a 4 is also not bad. Prim is the best though. And we've got the Magus.
Care to hear the good word?
Magus would have been a 3 cost 1/2, gain 1 life, gain a 2/2. It's not the worst as well. Samurai's perfect here. That swings there. If we did it the other way around, we couldn't apply pressure, so that was a good set of events. And if we had the 3 cost there, that's not also going to be our play anyway, because of how things lined up. And then for here, we can go for a Lance Trooper. Deal 1 so that we can go through to deal 2 more and play out our Prim. Next turn, we can go for Luminous Magus, create a wide board. This is going to be running into Salefa, which we do not mind, to be fair. Magus does not do much, although she creates a lot of sticky units that they can't really deal with. They have to go through this, which is great. Especially early on without a gene.
Care to hear the good word?
Doesn't work if we wipe the board. This is good.
Let us pray.
And then we just rinse and repeat.
My oath is fulfilled.
Fear the dark because it let me aid you.
Steel.
Thinking though, yes, we just trade there to become a 3/3 that this one should be able to deal with. And Luminous Magus is looking good at one of our bad matchup. Yes, it's bad against Jean, but as long as we're aware of Jean and we just play around Jean, you will be okay. And it combos with the Lance Trooper, it combos with Amelia as well. This might be our missing piece, to be honest. Ooh, that is perfect. So you get last words summon 2/2/4s here. But if you Odin that, then just nothing comes down. And nothing happens. And do we pressure them from here? Should we super Evoing is gonna bring them down to 12, which pressures them for our Albert plays. It's gonna be a waste of a super Evo.
To me, troops.
An Evo's not the worst as well. That's equally strong. Dealing 6, bringing them down to 13. And we just end the turn here. A lot of Havencraft.
Heavens, eye alight. I swear I'll be careful.
Behold divinity.
The hands of heaven are eternal.
Land beyond beckons.
Quite a strong board state at the moment. We've got Amalia to deal with that, 2 units to deal with this, and nothing to deal with that, sadly. We're gonna get hurt this. No more super Evos, so that's good.
You give me courage.
So I think we still go for it. 3/6 is another line, and then these here. That's also not bad, to be fair. So like we super Evo this. That becomes a 6/5, and then we go through that. And then we go through this. That leaves us with 2 units. Yes, they're geneable. If we get hit by gene, it's lights out. But it's the same number of units either way. So this is still gonna be our line nonetheless. Oof, 11 damage. So powerful. Wow, that is a perfect top deck for us. Because Olivia's gonna heal us back up.
Into an endless sky.
That's also gonna give us the Prim.
Lovely day for
That's gonna buff Nonja up to give her Bane.
Princess Prim.
And the Super Evo here. Oh no. Because our Super Evo just doesn't reach. They're too thick. We needed Gildaria here. We have options. We can deal with one. We can deal with Jean.
Burn bright.
We can't deal with both.
Even fate shall fall to this blade.
We have another line. Not really.
Pardon me.
Follow my lead.
Too tiny.
Pardon me.
No time for retreat.
Buffing her up as well. Oof. They do have to go through this, which is good. Question is, can they? Yes, they can. Because a second gene wipes the board.
I am satisfied.
And it's lights out. We needed Gildaria in that match. Fair enough. Is what it is. And I think we're okay at the moment. Still testing. This has potential. A bit slow. But I think we can set up using this. Or one of these variants. We still have 56 minutes to figure out our deck. For now, that is us. We will be live again potentially tomorrow if we don't have plans. But for now, we will be heading off. In life, stay kind. But in Shadowverse PvP, stay ruthless, guys. We are going to be going in 3,